is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I don't know if you saw my last video, but we have been working on the Civic. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is my 1997 DX, I believe, DX Honda Civic. It has a D16 Y7 engine. We slapped on a Y8 intake manifold. So if you're a little confused on why it looks like a Y8, all it is a Y8 intake manifold. And then we threw on a very budget turbo kit. So, couple of the reasons that I say budget is that's a $100 max speeding rods turbo. And then all of the parts, all of the supporting parts either came from eBay or Amazon. So we went as budget as we could, but still ordered all brand new parts. I have a lot of very detailed videos on this build, including a cost breakdown, estimated horsepower numbers, the entire build, everything. So go check out those other videos if you guys want to see anything about it. I also get a lot of questions about the head unit I have in the car, believe it or not. So let me show that to you guys real quick that don't know. So you can see it's a big touchscreen radio, Apple CarPlay, YouTube, Netflix, anything. That is an iDoing head unit. So I have a install video on that. It is a sweet head unit. I actually have one in all of my vehicles, my Subaru and my truck. So feel free to check those out. That's iDoing. And my code is capital B OOST, I believe. Yeah, and you'll get a little bit off, and then I'll get a little bit as well. So anyway, back to what we were doing. In the last video, we are having a fuel pressure issue. When we go for a drive, it seems like the FMU gets stuck closed. So, by the way, I have an FMU on the car. No tuning, zero electronic tuning. I am doing this the very old-fashioned way. And the reasoning for that is, one, just to see what we can get away with, and two, believe it or not, I guess believe it or not's not the right term. Whether you want to accept it or not, one of the most intimidating factors when building a car, when you don't have much knowledge, is the fact that you can't just bolt on your turbo or whatever you're doing. You need to go get the car tuned. Now that involves, one, finding a dyno and a tuner that is going to do it for you, renting out the dyno. So that can definitely be expensive. Or two, you can e-tune it, which wouldn't be bad. So you would data log, send it off to a tuner. Hopefully it's a good tuner. And then he'd send you a tune back based off of your numbers. But in order to do that, you got to have a correct ECU, either a standalone ECU or a ECU like a P28 with Honda or something like that. So I know for a fact that there's a lot of you out there that won't turbo your car just because, oh, I don't want to deal with that. I don't know how to deal with that. I don't have the extra money to deal with that. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. Now, I know obviously the 100% correct way to do this and get the most out of your build is to tune the car. I obviously know that, but that's not what we're doing. So that's why we have an FMU. Now, like I was saying, when I went to go do a pull, that FMU saw boost, so it closed off the return fuel pressure, forcing more fuel pressure out of the injectors. Now what it's doing is when you do that first pull, the fuel pressure is not returning back to normal. So I'll get the car all the way back home, park it, and I can tell that it's running extremely rich from the boost gauge or the wideband gauge. I'll get out and my fuel pressure gauge is pegged. It's just bouncing off the end. So it's got maximum fuel pressure and it shouldn't. What is maximum fuel pressure? Yeah, 100 pounds. This thing does not have 3,000 horsepower, so it does not need 100 pounds of fuel pressure. Anyway, we got to figure that out. Last video I did a bunch of different diagnostics, and one thing that I found was we took apart the old FMU and we found in some of the shims there was these little divots in there. Now, I have no clue if that would cause this, so what I did was I emailed Blocks Racing, asked them if they would, if that would cause that issue, and they didn't really tell me if it would or not, but they did just send me a completely new FMU. So amazing customer service, because one, I didn't even buy it from them. I bought it through a secondary party, and they just like, oh, you clearly have an issue, so here's a new one. So anyway, what we're gonna be doing in this video is putting the new FMU back on the car and seeing if it fixes the issue. If so, then it was those little shims, and my guess is they weren't sealing, so the car, or so the FMU couldn't see the vacuum to pull the FMU back open, is my guess. I don't know. I'm really hoping this fixes the issue. If not, we got more to figure out. Now, well, I'll get to that later. So what we need to do now is I am going to put all the vacuum lines back to where they were. Maybe. Let me think here. Yeah. So we've got a missing link. I'm gonna put the missing link back where I had it right here. I'm gonna tee the FMU into this. Actually, first thing I'm gonna do is just run the FMU right to here. That way we can rule out anything like the FMU being paired with other items and not seeing enough vacuum because it's paired with other items. And then the FMU definitely shouldn't see any vacuum leaks. So let's just do that real quick. Let's just throw this FMU on, and then if it works, we'll go back in and return everything to normal. All right, guys, we got everything ran. We got our fuel return and our fuel feed hooked up. Pretty sure they're hooked up the right way. If not, we'll know pretty quickly. And then our vacuum ran. Now, this is not how I'm gonna run everything. I just wanna make sure this works. And then we're going to button everything up a different way to make it all look a little nicer. So anyway, let's go ahead and start her up, and then we'll throw you guys in the car and go for a quick little drive. So I should know, now that we did a pull, I should know if it's fixed or not once we give it some gas, some normal gas, and we're not idling down the hill. So let me get turned around up here, and then we'll see if it's still doing the same thing. Moment of truth. I'll do another pull down here, but looks like it might be fixed. Yeah. So like right now we're still running rich, but before it was running like 9, and right now it's running like 12. Oh no, it's not, guys. It is freaking fixed. Awesome. Check this out. So, if you remember my last video, right now that thing would be fully pegged out, and it's not right now. So that is just awesome. We are running a bit rich, I think. Yeah, we're still running 9. So mission accomplished. We got our fuel pressure to be able to come back down. So that's what it was. It was the little shims in our old FMU, I guess. I don't know what would have caused those little divots. I don't know if like dirt in the line. I really don't know. Now we are still running super lean or super rich, which is better than super lean. Obviously, if we were running super lean, the car probably wouldn't have lasted this long. But we're still running super rich, so I need to get that dialed in. But for right now, we're just gonna button stuff up in the engine bay. I need to put my missing link back in. I am going to tee my FMU vacuum line in with my wastegate and boost gauge, because I think that'll be fine. I'm gonna have the missing link running by itself, its own vacuum source, and then of course the adjustable fuel pressure regulator will be by itself. Couple of other things I need to do is remount the adjustable fuel pressure regulator because it looks like a 3-year-old did it. We've got that, and that. So I am pretty ashamed of the way that came out. So we need to fix that, not use self-tappers, use nuts and bolts, and yeah. So let's go ahead. I'll throw you guys on the tripod and we'll just time lapse me cleaning everything up, and then we'll talk about it. All right guys, I got everything buttoned up. So I teed my FMU vacuum into my wastegate vacuum, and then also the boost gauge is teed into as well. So I got 2 T's in that line. That's just going to a vacuum port on the back of the intake manifold. We've got the missing link just set in right there. Coming off this large vacuum port, I reduced it down. And if you guys are not aware, I do have a video on that, but what that does is it bleeds off boost before the map sensor, so that the map sensor doesn't see boost, because it's not supposed to see boost with this OEM setup, factory ECU. I still do use self-tappers in the adjustable AFR or adjustable FPR, because just the way that this strut tower is, can't get a nut on the backside. And then I'm also going to put my boost controller right there. So I covered up those trying to find your drywall stud pilot holes with this. So it's all cleaned up now for the most part. There is some stuff there's a lot of stuff I still want to do. I want to get AN fittings going to my FMU, which I am currently waiting on those fittings. And then I'd love to do like AN vacuum fittings, would be kind of neat. That side will still have to be push lock because I'm not tapping it, but yeah. So anyway, if you didn't catch that preview, we are going to be installing a boost controller. I may have said boost gauge earlier, but we're going to be doing a boost controller. So I hope that I was able to shine some light on any issues you guys might have in the future. If your fuel pressure is maxed out, you now kind of know how to troubleshoot that. And ours just so happened to be our FMU. It could be anything. So I'd still go through all the stuff I went through, but mine was the FMU. And huge shout out to Blocks Racing for just replacing that. I thought that was awesome. So huge shout out to them. I know these last 2 videos have been kind of like random, not much going on in them, but this is just everyday troubleshooting that you're gonna have to deal with on a car build, you know? So anyway, what I wanna do now is I wanna go drive the car a little bit, see if I can find any other issues. We are still running very rich, so I am gonna be doing some stuff to try to get that, to dial that in, just not in this video. So I'm running Y8 injectors, and we obviously still have a Y7 ECU. Some of you have told me I need a Y8 ECU, which makes complete sense because that Y7 ECU does not really know what to do with those injectors. So I completely understand that. Now, when I do that, I feel like it's slightly gonna defeat the purpose of this whole thing because the Y8 ECU is what you would put Hondata on. So if you're gonna do that, you might as well just get Hondata and tune it. So I think that's gonna be my last resort, and I understand that it's probably gonna have to be my only resort. But even if we do get that ECU, I'll still run it without a tune because the whole tuning process, I understand, like, we're gonna do as little as possible and be as reliable as possible. So I get all that, but I think that's gonna be it for this video. This is the outro, but let's go ahead and drive it. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. Comment down below on anything else you wanna see. A lot of you have been commenting lately, really helping me out on this build, helping me out on the way things work and the way things need to be. So anyway, thanks a lot. Let's go take a drive.